Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Khalees, and I am talking about why self concept is so important for us today. So, if none of you guys have heard about self concepts, where have you been? I feel like this is a buzzword now. Like, if you don't know about it, you're about to know. So, basically, self concept is how you think about yourself distinct from any groups, any people, any outside perceptions of you. You're taking all of that attention off of what other people think of you, and you're specifically centering yourself and building that hygiene with your relationship with yourself? So, the first reason why I say building a self concept is so important is that if you only view yourself categorically, meaning attached to outside things like hobbies, age, family, friends, what happens when all of that is taken away? So, what I mean by this is whenever someone asks me, hey, like, who are you? Or like, tell me about yourself, I would always specifically start talking about all of the things I'm attached to, like my family, maybe even grabbing some of my identity from where I grew up, where I'm from, the hobbies I have, all of these things. And that's normal. I think what we go through definitely shapes who we are, and the fact that we have such a strong identity to those things is very telling because that's what shaped us as a person. However, I didn't really know who I was because I only saw myself through those things. So I would only see myself through maybe how my family or my friends perceive me rather than asking myself, what do I really think about myself and how do I feel about certain things when those perceptions are not influencing me? So, when all of that's taken away, what if you go through something like depression or you lose someone? What happens when you can't depend on them for your identity? So, for example, I went through depression myself and I got disconnected from the things that I originally loved. I used to be a dancer and I thought that that was going to be what I did for the rest of my life. I thought I was going to go to Juilliard and train to become a dancer and all these things because that's what I grounded my identity in for so long. But when I stopped dancing, I felt like I didn't know myself as well as I thought I did because I didn't have that outlet anymore to express myself. So that really pushed me to focus on who I am more and basically rebuilding myself from the ground up. Because once those hobbies or someone dies that you really like sought for guidance, when those things are taken away from you, you really have to focus on, wow, who am I? Like, I thought I knew who I was. I thought I knew what I liked. I thought that that was who I was, but now that that's gone, I don't even know who I am anymore. So, if you're ever going through something where you fall out of touch with something that you used to love and you're feeling lost, it's probably because you have a weak and poor self concept and it was just really, really grounded in that thing. So, that is why it is important to get to know yourself for who you are by journaling, looking more inward, asking yourself what you like rather than getting that confidence from outside things. Second reason why self concept is so important is you upgrade positively, and instead of viewing yourself negatively because you're not where you want to be, you will meet yourself where you're at. So, what I mean by this is um when you upgrade your self concept, which is how you perceive yourself, you will have a more positive outlook on who you are and the actions that you take. So say you're not exactly where you want to be. Maybe let's use weight as an example. You weigh 170, maybe you want to be 150. Instead of beating down on yourself and being so negative all the time and always talking about yourself in a negative way, saying, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I don't like the way I look, I hate how I look. Instead, you're going to take the focus off of that goal and you're just going to pour into yourself and speak kindly over yourself. This is something that I've been practicing a lot, especially when it comes to school. Maybe I'm not locked in as I was first semester and I'm kind of slacking and I'm kind of behind on assignments. I still speak positively over myself because at the end of the day, I am me and I'm all that I have if everything is stripped away from me. You have to pour into yourself and talk to yourself as if you are a kid. Like, it's really sad that we don't love ourselves off rip and that we're our first thing in instinct is to be so critical over ourselves instead of just pouring into ourselves and being kind as if we were talking to somebody else or like someone younger, you know? We would pour into them. We would be like, it's okay, keep going, you're human, like, just keep going. As long as you don't give up, you're still meeting all of your goals. Like, you only fail if you stop. So that is the mentality that I pick up now instead of just focusing on the negative aspects of what I'm doing. Instead, I always turn into a positive outlook on where I'm going, where I'm headed, and I always pour into myself and I always support myself no matter what because I'm me and I love myself the most at the end of the day. Tip number 3: you will weed off predators when you have a strong self concept. You will start to see through people like water. You will see through people's projections and you will remove them right away. This is huge for me. When I was especially coming out of my depression, I started to have a more positive and a more confident look of who I was. I started to notice that people that I thought were my friends and that were wanting the best for me, they actually really didn't. We actually connected through my lack of confidence. We didn't really have much in common once I started to actually grow into who I wanted to be. This is a very bittersweet thing, but it's important. You have to grow into who you want to be no matter who's around you and is opposing that. If they're not for you becoming the most boss, like, I'm a boss, but like, no, for real, like, if they're not for you being a boss, like growing into that boss babe, boss man mentality, whatever you envision yourself as your highest self, they gotta go. Like, that's weird. You should want to be friends with people who are on the same wavelength as you, people who always continually want to grow, and not someone who kind of wanted you to stick around because you were down. You don't want that. Those people are going to try to take advantage of you. Those people want to put you down. They saw your potential and they still wanted you to be down. That's weird. You need to get rid of those people. When you build your self confidence and when you're starting to affirm things for yourself with confidence, like, I have the best grades in the class, or I am making six figures every single year, I'm a millionaire, I deserve the best things, I deserve the best seat in the room, people are nice to me, people love me, I am the best. I love myself. Once you start affirming those things and they're kind of like, girl, or like, boy, what are you saying? Like, nah, you're doing too much. Cut them off. You guys are not on the same wavelength. And you're going to realize down the line, the more you try to string them along, they're going to put you down more. They're going to start projecting onto you. So they cannot come with you. If they're not for you, they cannot come along to this journey with you. You're going to start seeing that people project a lot because once you clear up all that negativity from yourself and people start to kind of project negative traits onto you, you're going to be like, hold on, I am positive now. Like, I'm a positive thinker. I don't think negatively anymore. So, where are you getting this from? You're going to notice that it's coming from the inside of them. They're projecting on you, and it's time to bounce. You guys are not aligned anymore. You guys got to go. But yeah, you're going to start seeing through people's negativity. You're going to start seeing their hidden agenda and those negative, evil motives they have. So that is why you should continue building your self concept. Alrighty. I just want to say before I start giving you guys tips, I just want to say that self concept grounds you in who you are at all times. And it's going to be taking that attention off of how people perceive you. And it is giving all of that power back to yourself. You set the standard. That is something I've been telling myself repeatedly this year. Because if you guys did not know, I am a fashion design major, and sometimes I'll see people doing creative, cool things around me, and I'm like, wow, this is so amazing. And then a negative thing in the back of my mind will be like, wow, wouldn't that be amazing if I could do something like that? Like, maybe I'm just not doing enough. And every single time I see or hear that negative thought anywhere, I always shut it down immediately, and I always tell myself, you set the standard. They don't set the standard for your life. You set the standard for your life. You are the physical embodiment of who you want to be, and your creations are your manifestations. They have nothing to do with anybody else's. You set the standard for your life and you are in control. You know, don't put control on other people. That's why we have all these insecure people who are always jealous. They're always giving people all this power and putting all of their esteem onto other people. It's like, how can you be mad at someone else for just being them and believing in themselves? You need to give that power back to yourself, and you need to be the one in control of how you feel and how you view yourself. You're still amazing no matter what anyone else is doing. Everyone is amazing. And another tip that I didn't actually write down, but I want to touch on is having a better self concept is how you meet those people that you want to be around. Like, you want to meet people who are um on the same wavelength as you. If you're operating in this negativity, you're not going to meet those people that you want to be around, those people that you've always dreamed of being friends with, or etc. Whatever. Like, one of the things I tell myself is I am the celebrity of my life. You can't keep trying to make friendships by thinking of your friends as below or above you. That's something that we need to completely get rid of and disregard. Stop viewing people as above or below you. You need to start viewing people as just everyone is their own person. Because when you start viewing people below or above you, you're either placing yourself above someone, like you're looking down on them, or you're viewing someone as more worthy than you, and you start to kind of treat them like, I guess, kind of like a god in a sense, like you're lower than them on some sort of level, when in reality everyone is has a god in them. Every god is in all of us. So stop trying to put people on pedestals. It's okay to give people credit, of course. That's not what this is about. This is about how you view yourself and on an esteem. When we're talking about self-esteem. Because if you're just giving people all of this, like, trying to worship them, you think you're unworthy of being their friend, you just admire them so much in that way, that's very negative. That's very weird and very negative. So just view yourself as the celebrity. Like, you're the celebrity of your life. You're the one who you put on the pedestal. You set the standard for you. People around you don't do that for you do that. So that's just a more healthier way of thinking of friendships and how you are viewing people. Make sure you know that everyone is their own celebrity, everyone is their own main character. Don't get so busy making someone else the main character in your life, because that's you. You're supposed to fill that role. So make sure you're doing that. So, some tips that I have for building a better self concept that I use is talking kindly to yourself. So, this means that I'm always complimenting, always appreciating myself. I'm always uplifting myself, no matter if the situation is negative, positive. Like, I'm always going to speak life into myself. One of my favorite things, or my favorite affirmations I've been saying lately, is God is always taking care of me. Because I'm in a stage where I have a job now. Thankfully, I have a job that I've always wanted. I've always wanted to work retail, and I finally got me a job that is in that field where I can be in a fashion environment. But before that, I think I've been unemployed for like 3 weeks, maybe a month. But around that time, I was wanting to get my hair done. I was like, I still want to get my hair done, my nails, my lashes done, but I have no money. Like, how am I going to make this happen? I've just been repeating to myself over and over again, God has always taken care of me. Excuse me. Because it's true. There's never been a time, no matter how much I've worried about something or stressed about something, there hasn't been a time in my life where God did not show up for me. We give ourselves so much stress, we put so much stress onto our minds, on our bodies, just for God to show up for us in the last minute. So every time I'm going through something and I'm like, dang, how am I going to come up with the payment? How am I going to come up with the money? How am I going to buy this for myself? How am I going to do that? I just say, affirm to myself, God is always taking care of me. I always say that. And like I told you guys earlier, another affirmation I love is I set the standard for my life, because I do. And this is just me positively telling myself, don't look at what other people are doing. Just focus on what you're doing. You set the standard for your life. Don't give that power to other people. And then I'm going to think of another one. What is another one? Hmm. I love song lyrics. So it's because I just caught a glimpse of my mirror back there. That's a mirror that I have, my full body mirror. And I just write my favorite song lyrics on there because I can affirm those too. So make sure you guys are also listening to good music that's not negative. And if you are sad or you're feeling like you want to listen to more somber music or whatever, just make sure you're not constantly affirming and chanting those things over yourself, because music is energy. Make sure you're not saying negative things and placing those over your life, because we don't want that. We want to affirm good things. But one of the my favorite lyrics that I've been saying a lot is it's a lyric from Cardi B song Magnet. Is She says, "They say I'm attractive, I be feeling like a magnet, baby." I love that lyric. It's so cute. It's just like, yeah, like I am attractive, I am a magnet. And it's just basically just telling myself like I love how I look, I am attractive, I'm a magnet, I all good things come to me, all of the things I want are coming to me, and it's easily we go together. That's why it's a magnet. It's pulling us in that direction. My second tip is um journaling. Okay, actually I'm going to backtrack. I just missed something. I wrote here, you are deserving of everything you want. So that's also something you can affirm to yourself. Always know that you are deserving of anything you want. Like, this can also tie back to my first affirmation I told you about. God is always taking care of me. God is always willing to give anything to someone who has amazing faith. If you know that you're deserving of something, which we all are, it's just the negative thoughts around us that are telling us that we're not. God will show up for you. So that's another thing to remember. You are deserving of everything you want. So, journaling is the second tip. So, this is also, if you don't like journaling, you can just resort back to the first tip, which is talking kindly to yourself. I feel like those could be interchangeable pretty much. I like to journal though, because I honestly love looking back on my old entries, whether they're sad or they're inspirational. I love looking back on my own words for encouragement or just to see how far I've grown. That's my favorite thing to do. So just journal, document your life. You're amazing. Your life is filled with so many hidden gems, so many hidden lessons, so much wisdom. So document your words, your day, what you've been through, so that you can learn from those things and just appreciate that as well. You're amazing. So document your life so that you can look back on it. The third tip I have is pretty much something I mentioned earlier as well. I said you are a celebrity, stop viewing others as above or below you. So this is again backtracking on another tip I gave earlier. You are the celebrity. You are deserving of the best seat in the room. You have the best friends, you have the best supporters. Everyone is rooting for you. You are the main character of your life. I need you guys to be thinking this constantly. This is how we're building our strong self concept. This is how we are getting the things that we want every single day of our lives. We're always working towards that. We're always bettering our self concept. We are always affirming and speaking powerful, good affirmations over our lives. So, that is all I have for you guys today. I am so happy if you guys stayed and watched. Even if you didn't, I'm so happy you got to click and give me some views. But I really appreciate you guys for staying and watching the video. I hope that you guys take these things and apply them to your life. And I just wish the best for you guys. You guys are all amazing. I'm amazing. We're all going to be glowing up and bettering our self concept this year and for the years to come. So, yes, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.